Hello, I haven't recorded anything for a while, but I had some message that I really wanted to share. So I thought the quickest way to do that was to pop on, make a quick video, and put it into my Instagram and also into my blog, which, if you haven't had a look at yet, I do add little stories and things in that area as well as on my social media. It was really a thought that came into my mind. I've always loved, when I was younger, fairy tales. I don't know if you have any that you particularly remember. Um, but there was one that just popped into my mind and it had a new meaning suddenly. Do you know the story of Hansel and Gretel? It was exactly that one, and it was the thought of those children being led into the woods and being left in the darkness of those woods. And as they had been left there, they know that there's somewhere that they need to get back to. And luckily, they had left a trail of breadcrumbs and a trail of little white stones. I mean, there's various different ways that the story has evolved over time. But I find that these fairy tales are so important to remember and to pass them down and to think about, because that particular one really resonated with me. I think recently, I think it must have been back in September, I was even thinking about this particular story and had made a note of it. So, yeah, the point of it is really that even if we're led astray and taken into a dark, frightening place, and even as they are enticed by this kind of wonderful gingerbread house to stay and to be entrapped really by the witch, there's a way back. So the children, they're very clever. They find a way to trick the witch, and together, the boy and the girl, the sort of duality here that we see with the male and the female aspect of ourselves as well, the action and also the intuition of the girl to help her brother to escape, work together very beautifully in the story. And the fact that the girl manages to push the witch into the fire, there's a sort of message here as well, I find, of the transformation. So the fire acts as a way of transforming maybe what the witch represents is a fear and keeping them entrapped in this place of darkness. So they overcome that and they find their way home. There is a trail. And I do believe the same with us. If we have any way that we've become stuck in a dark place, there's always a way home. And the trail is there. Sometimes we may need a little help to find it or to shine a light on it. But there's a trail back, and the trail back is the trail back home to a place of love. And that's what I think the father in the story represents, the unconditional love a father has for his children. And that, again, is finding a way home to that place. It may be finding a way home back to yourself, self-love. And when I have posted recently about my flare method, which you may have seen, that's one of the first steps, is to remember self-love, and there's a way home to it. And also the all-encompassing love, the love that is unconditional and everlasting, whichever belief you follow is there for you all, for us all. So I just wanted to share that thought on the story of Hansel and Gretel and the trail that they find back. I just think at this time of year with the darkness, we're going into that more sort of quieter period of maybe self-reflection. It naturally is this time of year where we have the opportunity to do that. So if you have some chance, maybe it's a good time. You can download, I have a guide called the Heavenly Human Guide. There are self-reflective questions there. So if you want to, you can take the opportunity and start to have little self-reflecting practice and some journaling, and yeah, a good time of year to do that. So just just remember that story of Hansel and Gretel that we all heard when we were children. There is a little bit more meaning, I feel, to that, and hopefully, yeah, that's my take on it. And let me know if there's any fairy tales or stories that really have a special meaning for you. I'd love to hear.